Carlos Fernández. I'm going to start, and you all have a book. It's quite unusual, and I'm delighted because you've got this manual, and I would like to thank RootedCON. This is a project we believe on, and we've given a lot of time to it with love and attention, and it's fantastic. You've got the book. This is a book we've written from our association. Critica is the name of our association, the cultural association that was created back in 2015, non-profitable organization, and the main goal is to organize meetings, training, and education programs and disseminating information in order to protect privacy. We want to be a bridge from the hacker world, and which is innovating all the time, and the user's world, knowing nothing about cryptography, nothing about privacy, nothing about the way they are traced. So we're going to help users to protect privacy. And last year we have published a book, a manual of operational and instrumental security for smartphones. This is what you get when you use tools, when you have deblocking your cell phone with security, or messaging here where we have end-to-end ciphering. And as you all know here, you are experts regarding security issues. That's not enough to protect your privacy nor your security. We have operational security. Those are habits, those are protocols, those are security strategies surrounding technology. To have a good use, a proper use, you can have a proper deblocking system, or you can do this, for instance. Is this sure or not? Or you can use a signal messaging system, or Ana Rosa Quintana can break this in front of all of you, in front of all Spain. The way we use technology is important. It's not only using safe tools, but how to use the tools. And those two approaches are the ones we have introduced in our book. Safe tools, safe habits, and this is what we have. And there are 5 different viewpoints. The book's been written by 5 authors, and due to a mistake, they do not appear in what you got here within RootedCON documentation. They come from different places. It is not the typical team we expect to find. We have here a professor, political sciences professor, and he is studying a PhD in philosophical and technological aspects. We have a nurse who loves information technology, and he loves medical sciences. We have 2 software developers in the field of cryptography, and I am here as the analyst of information security issues, specialized in this methodology. And as I said, the book is unusual because we have a low price. It costs only 12 euros. This has been published by Creative Commons. You can share this. You can give it for free. You can copy it. You can photocopy it. You can do whatever you like with this, with the exception of selling the book or selling parts of the book. And this is for free. This is on the net. Whatever we get from the 12 euros from the physical copy, the hard copy, is to back up our association. We're not getting a single euro from this. That goes to the association, that goes to improve our activities. Why have we done this book? Why have we written a book on smartphones? Why have we done this for free? Why is it so? To understand this, it is important to understand why we founded the non-profit organization. We have here, and well, let's go back to 2013, and it was said by Edward Snowden. That was published at that time, and we saw, and we were absolutely astonished that technologies and services that should connect people, let people communicate, work together, share information, sharing knowledge, those technologies were perverted and became systems for global surveillance, having access to big company information like Google, Skype, Yahoo, getting traffic on the internet and information from that, getting ciphering with those deciphering messages. We're talking about efforts to try to introduce vulnerability in different software products that people will use for them to have a backdoor to entry. It is making the world unsafe. And how do you feel about it? And how people felt after this? I'm nobody, I have nothing to hide, they said. That sentence is a mechanism to protect ourselves. It's, well, it doesn't matter because I'm not important, I'm nobody, and no one knows, no one cares about what I hide or have to hide. And that's tricky because what it says is only bad people have things to hide. As I'm not a bad guy, I have nothing to hide. Let's be a bit bad and let's see who is bad, because the one who has the power, whomever is against the power, is a bad guy. Activists, journalists investigating corruption are bad guys. Or even though you might not be part of those groups, you see the information is important and you don't know what is going to happen tomorrow, whether what you're publishing today. Are you going tomorrow to become, I don't know, are you going to be part of a political party? Are you going to work at a strategic company going against the one that's supervising and getting your information now? You don't know what's going to be compiled today will affect you tomorrow. You could say, I couldn't care less. That's paranoia, but you have a right to privacy. Right to privacy, privacy, because we all have right to a private life. And if you don't believe me, ask yourself the following questions. Why is it so that you close the door when you go to the bathroom? Would you live inside a crystal house? Would you let me know all your personal problems or your family troubles or your love affair problems to a person who's an unknown person? Why don't you let me read your messages and write your messages, publish what I want, share the messages with whomever I want? May I follow you all day long while you walk on the streets? Do you have anything to hide? Do you understand what I mean? There's a right to privacy. That's it. And privacy is such that there is a guarantee for other rights. That's vital for democracy, because when we're deprived from privacy, it conditions the way we behave, people we get together with, people we associate with, the way we say things, what we say, what we don't say. We have our censorship. And then it conditions even the way we think. We think we have nothing to hide. And privacy is fundamental for a society, for democracy, to guarantee your rights, and we have to fight for our rights. And saying you're not concerned by privacy because you have nothing to hide, it is like saying you don't want freedom of expression because you have nothing to say. Those are rights, and we have to fight for our rights. We've understood that privacy is important because, on the other hand, we've also understood that it's been perverted and technologies were perverted, and it looks like privacy is not a question or a matter of concern. Are we fucked up? What to do? Snowden said something that is room for hope, and he said, open source privacy tools can't crack. Not even NSA analysts could crack them, because that's why it was written for open source cryptography, public systems that could be revised by whomever, and they have been analyzed by cryptographic experts, people from the academia, people from different companies. That means that there are laws that could be not respected, but open source privacy tool can't crack. Mathematics are there to stay. So new documents reveal which encryption tools they have. So that's why we started working on that, and to follow the right path. We started all the security, all the tools. We see here Privacy Tools IO, Electronic Frontier Foundation aspects, Security in the Box. We started learning from that, and we started teaching and educating people for years and years, and we still do that. We keep on doing this, and we learn lots of things from the workshops. On the first hand, technical things are not understood widely. Saying OTR, asymmetric cryptography, I signed this, you have to validate signatures. They don't know what you're talking about. And if they know today, tomorrow they will forget about it because they don't have whom to talk about it. And then that is something people won't learn. And if tools are not safe, by default, they will be wrongly used in the end. How many of you know PGP? PGP? How many of you are using PGP? Have you decided to send PGP messages using the public key, ciphering messages, and the person answered openly, deciphering your message, saying, I haven't got your key, would you kindly send it again, because I haven't got it? So this is a way to destroy our NSA, and it is something that is a big problem, big concern. We have to know what we would like to protect ourselves from. People say, well, I want to be safe, on the safe side. Why? No. Let's think. What are you trying to do? Not to say something, not to have people knowing your private life. According to your information, what you publish, you want to get protected from cookies, from trackers, to give you some information to follow you. You want your apps not to retrieve your private information. You want to protect yourself from spies, from the government, and so on. There are different types of threats, and it's different, and we have to have different approaches. Well, there were positive things, analogies, talking in a pleasant way, conveys privacy messages, and if we use this language, people will remember things, and good habits, the operational security, and so on, are things that are easy to explain and easy to follow. But there was something we learned that we didn't like the same. It is like users have considered that personal computers are like second options. The personal computers, they open this once a week, and what they use daily is a smartphone. And they open once a week the computer. And as it happens every year, we've developed our own philosophy with our own approach. And based on this philosophy, this approach, we try to develop our activities based on this adversarial modeling. We have to know what do we want to get protected from, to design our strategies. Operational security. Habits are important as the tools we use. And regarding instrumental security, the tools we use to protect ourselves, designed privacy, and code-to-code, extreme end-to-end ciphering communication should be protected by design. Open code. The tools we should use should do what they are supposed to do. And this should be decentralized, available, and user-friendly. There should be one single provider controlling communications. We have to have decentralized systems and usability, because if the system is only up to hackers, it will be used by hackers only, won't be massive use, and we will never change anything. How about to consider this philosophy in the light of smartphone approaches? Smartphones are centralizing lots of information at a single site. We're talking about intimacy. We're talking about pictures, messages you convey with your dear ones. We're talking about your agenda. We're talking about your own personal things, own personal concerns, your social networks, your media, social media. It is part of yourself. It is an extension of your personality. And we have lots of sensors. We have here antenna for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, telephone antenna. We have now lots of cameras. Before they had two. We have lots of cameras, microphones. We have GPS sensors, and everything gives a wealth of information about you. And there are free applications. Okay, free game, and I get everything. Yes, let's say yes. I say yes to everything. That's the smartphone ecosystem, and we have centralized services. Everything is on the cloud, and hard work, because if not, we have here the battery. The battery is easy, and we see we have to have a backup on the cloud. This is open on. You have always your smartphone on. You're always localized, because as it is a phone, they have to know where you are to route your phone calls. So it is the ideal device for going against your privacy. But is it down to earth to say we're going to give up using smartphones? Or we're going to keep on using them, and that's the approach. As we're going to keep on using them, let's use them in the best possible way, the best possible mode. Digital security culture regarding smartphones, that's the ecosystem we're evolving in this world. And that's what we say. There is a first part, it's operational security. Operational security, we have security strategies regarding smartphones. Second part is combining operational security, instrumental security, and it's oriented towards threats regarding the smartphone and privacy, regarding smartphones and social media. And then the third part, where we compare apps for messaging and applications that will respect your privacy. With this, we said that's our small contribution, humble contribution. Let's wait and see what I can do when I publish whatsoever, when I publish an article, a paper, when I write a book, or when I help other people writing a book, like this case. I get like the impersonating syndrome. This is not good enough. Somebody else will do it better than myself. I don't know if this is well written. People would say that we're crazy people. We get paranoid. And this is when I wanted to share with you this approach, because we got a great feedback from the book, from all of you. And when you give something and you receive positive feedback from people, we've learned lots of things. I recommend the book openly, and the book is good. And then you're full of happiness, and I wanted to share this with all of you, because for me it's been fantastic. It's one of the most beautiful things I've never expected to have. My colleagues are better than I am, and they might expect the success, but I was surprised with this big success. And I wanted to mention this, and I wanted to share with you some of the messages, positive feedback. And we got lots of positive responses. People did like this. And as a detail, we have two lecturers who presented here. Martha will be here today, and this is the best possible gift. It's fantastic. What else could I tell you? Let's be active. We kept on, and we haven't stopped there. We keep on doing things. We are still active. And what we're doing is we have lots of workshops. We're changing formats. We have hacking sections, and we have people from technical worlds and non-technical worlds saying, I use this messaging device, I use this operational system, and it's trying to render this public. We haven't got a response for everything. One thing we started doing this year is that we've started working a bit more as in field of legal matters. Do you know the digital law, legal framework? Last year, the government approved a decree where they said the government mightn't just get the information from internet at whatever level without authorization, without the opinion of a judge, to guarantee public order. Public order, what does it mean? I don't know. It's not been specified. And without any legal aspect, we talked from FACWAF, people from different internet associations, and two professors, and we talked to the mediator, and because we cannot present this as members of a civil society, but the ombudsman, the mediator, can present this, and it's been rejected. This is not going to be given the go-ahead, but we did our best to protect privacy at all levels. And last but not least, this is our association. If you like to ask questions, make comments on this, I'll be delighted. And let's say about coronavirus that privacy in the end is like personal hygiene. If we keep on clean, we will protect our friends and relatives. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Carlos. I think it's food for thought, and we've felt identified with what you've said. You have questions. This is a moment to make statements, ask questions, make comments about it. Yes, with a microphone, if you don't mind. Thank you. Use a microphone. Thank you. Hello, good afternoon. Hi. First of all, thank you, Carlos. Finally, someone is talking with plain words, the way we think, the way we would like to say things. It looks great. Your book is great. Two questions. One about your book. It's for common people? Same terms you're using here? It's for the people in general? Yes, of course. Provided the person has a smartphone. It's not to introduce this. This is a smartphone. If you're a user, if you use the smartphone, you will need and you will understand the book. On Thursday, we went to the lecture given by the president of the Internet Association, and with our technological approach and what we could say and how could we work with you, how could we help you, how could we become proactive instead of being passive but proactive, because enhancing neutrality, because it's been sort of slowed down. Not only this law, we have very many things. According to my experience, what I can tell you is that what we do seems to have a certain impact. So copy the model, do the same. No, but we want to work with you. So taking part, you have initiatives. Yeah, we'll have the channels here. We have a public chat in Matrix. We have also, I haven't put my email address, sorry. It's info@cryptica.org. You can make proposals, and we are here for you. And if you want to follow our events, you have our Telegram or Twitter or the blog of our website. It's always been published, but it takes place in Barcelona. Then we talk about it, we have ideas, and that's what we're looking for. If we have the possibility of getting connected to it, yes, that's why we have this Matrix room. Thank you, and let's go for it. Let's work together. Thank you. More questions, statements, comments? Hello, Carlos. I was delighted. I'm delighted with your presentation. My question is, and have you already had pressure? Have you received some pressure from other people while publishing this? Some pressure from the government, from authorities? No, not at all. Thank you. That's what I wanted to ask you. Thank you. No pressure at all. So if not, we're going to close this. I have some stickers available, but this is a best possible vector for contagious, and I have washed my hands with the product. So thank you, and let's enjoy lunch together. Be back here at 3:30 to continue with our presentations. Thank you very much. It was